going to be learning about professional liability coverages and considerations for a really wide variety of different types of consultants. And I'm excited to hear about that. I won't steal your thunder, Suzanne.
That's all right, steal away.
But I really just wanted to thank you all, most importantly, for taking time today to prepare yourself to respond to the needs of your clients in today's evolving marketplace. So we have been doing a lot of education this year, and we still have a lot more education to come. I just want to highlight the next up we have on our USLI product training series is our Vacants webinar, which is coming up on September 22nd. Social services on October 7th. That should be a really good one. November 17th, we're getting into beauty salons and Main Street businesses, and then rounding out the year on December 15th with an arts and culture focused webinar. So you can see all these and register for them on our education and events webpage, nee.com/education events. I'll include a link to that in our follow-up here as well. A little side plug as well. Diana wears a lot of hats. One of them is also flood. She runs our private flood program, and we have been having a whole series of flood webinars. We call them flood chats or coffee and flood, where Diana takes a deeper dive on a specific area of flood coverage. Next up, we have, we're calling it, Am I Even in a Basement, when it comes to flood coverage. So that's on September 18th, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also register on our website. So the last thing I'll say is, when I think of USLI and NEE, we partner together a lot, and we really complement each other very well, I feel like. I would say when I think of USLI, I think of a products company. They've put a lot of thought over the years in crafting products that really provide all the different coverages and considerations that you typically have the standard type of risk in that class. They have a really nice full-featured product to offer. NEE is really more of a solutions company. So we fit together where in some cases, maybe a certain line of coverage or the whole risk maybe you call in, it just doesn't maybe fit with USLI. We have other carriers we can turn to help create a full solution around there. I always like when there's one part or two parts USLI and we can just bring it home with that other maybe property coverage to complement their professional and GL, for example. So with that, I'll hand it off to Ryan. I'll let you take it away, and I'll just I think that's all my remarks. I don't know. I think I covered everything. Maybe not as organized as I'd like to be. That.
Great, awesome. So thank you, Evan, and thank you, Evan and Diana, for setting these up. We've had some great sessions this year. We have some more upcoming. But also thank you to everyone who took some time to join us today. We know that you're all very busy out there, so we definitely really appreciate you making some time for us here on a Monday. We have a very exciting topic for you today. We're going to be talking about, professional, like Evan mentioned, it covers a lot of those great classes for professional risk. I'm joined by my colleague Suzanne from Professional Lines. She has some great information here, and then towards the end of the presentation, we'll show you how you can quote some of these, quick and easy with USLI and NEE. One thing I wanted to mention really quick before we jump in, you all are currently on mute, but should you have any questions throughout the course of this presentation, please feel free to use the chat feature. You can put the questions in the chat. We'll do our best to get to them in a very timely manner. We'll also save some time towards the end of today's session to answer any additional questions that might come up. And with that, Suzanne, I will pass it over to you if you want to get us started.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Diane and Evan, for inviting me here today. I'm excited to talk to you about professional lines, and I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Why should you write more professional liability accounts? Well, we've listed various reasons here. Maybe the first one and most important one to many would be higher premiums. Now, our average premium for professional liability policy is probably around $1,300. However, we write many much larger risks that could be tens of thousands of dollars. So that'd be a nice little commission if you're able to come across those. Another reason is the costly claim settlements when it comes to some of these situations, horrific situations where you could have a death or a serious injury. The settlements can reach policy limits of millions of dollars. And I just want to add that for many of these professionals, they are more likely to have a professional liability or E&O claim than they are a GL claim. The other reason we have listed there is greater exposures in the modern workplace. As we all return to the office, the social climate being such that it is mixed with the litigious environment can lead often to a lot more claims. Number 4, not just limited to medical malpractice. We have that one listed there because to the general public, the non-insurance professionals, most people, when they think of professional liability or E&O coverage, think of medical malpractice. And our coverage and the professional liability in general encompasses so many more professions than just the medical field. Can be easily added to existing accounts. And in a few slides here, I am going to go over our different packaging options where you can include E&O and GL together on one policy. And also another reason to protect your E&O, because you are providing the most complete coverage to your client, or all of the above may be important to you. As we mentioned, what we're looking to cover here today is general liability coverages. Who needs E&O professional liability? We're going to provide a brief overview of our USLI products and opportunities. And Ryan's going to give you an overview of our instant quote process and provide you with a demonstration for an instant quote. What does general liability actually cover? Well, we have the physical damage or physical injuries that can potentially occur, which include bodily injury and property damage to your client. We have property damage to others, which could be a third party, or damage to premises rented, that office space that a client may rent in a small mini mall somewhere. Those are the slip and fall coverages that we more commonly think of. But there are also injuries that aren't necessarily physical. They're the personal and advertising injuries. Those that may arise from products completed operations situations, as well as libel or slander that can result from an organization's communications. Continuing with the theme on the general liability, it may also provide coverage for abuse and molestation during an organization's activities, the services they provided, or you may also have hired and non-owned coverages that would be provided for an organization's needs. But we all know that general liability doesn't provide coverage for everything, that there are certain exposures that are excluded. And those that are excluded can include the following. You have liquor liability, and then you have the professional liability coverages that are not included, such as employment-related practices, data breach, or E&O and professional liability in general. Workers' compensation and pollution are others that are often excluded. So who needs E&O coverage? Well, what we have there as far as a definition is any professional that provides their expertise to handle a situation, requirement, or opportunity. Any individual who is advertising themselves as an expert and is receiving compensation for that expertise is potentially at a loss for a claim if those services are not rendered, if an error or omission occurs. Now, we already mentioned medical professionals, but we also have listed there lawyers, architects, and engineers as some of the more common professionals that the public at large thinks of when they think of malpractice or professional liability. Now, it's at this point that I must mention here at USLI, we do not provide coverage for physicians as dentists, lawyers, architects, and engineers. We write what we refer to as the next layer underneath from these specific professionals, these well-educated professionals. And who are those professionals that we will write coverage for? Well, I have provided over the next couple slides a very small list. There are more than hundreds of different classes that we will consider across our various product lines. We've listed just a few here, broken down into various segments. We have management and training, management consultants. There is an explosion in this field as far as people that are providing management consulting services to various companies as they navigate the new world, as they try to become more effective and more proficient within their businesses. We have marketing consultants, employment staffing firms. Under our insurance and financial services segment, we have a separate product for insurance agents. We will also consider tax preparers. And then under our real estate segment, we have separate products for real estate agents and property managers to meet their unique needs. Continuing, we have a separate product for allied healthcare. Again, we will not write physicians and dentists. I will add to that, we also will not consider pharmacists, nurses, nurse practitioners. But we're looking to provide services for those professionals that are working in areas where there are services for the mind and the body. So all of your different counseling, mental health counseling, all those services that are provided by personal trainers and physical therapists. We also offer coverage for home health aides. It's one of our biggest classes under this segment. And then lastly, we have mentioned there technology, your website designer, your custom software developer, and also the growing segment under here, the growing class is consultants, AI consultants that are helping all these companies decide if they should adopt AI, and if so, what products and what form will that look. General liability often has gaps in coverage. Those gaps occur for services rendered to others solely in the conduct of the insured's profession. Gaps in coverage exist for professional liability. Your client needs a separate policy in order to fill those gaps and provide the coverage for bodily injury and property damage arising out of these services. For that personal injury coverage that can arise from a wrongful act. For intellectual property, so important to, say, marketing consultants, graphic designers, even software developers, and many other coverages that are important, such as cyber, privacy, etc. Well, how can we help you fill those needs? How can we help you meet the coverage requirements that your clients may have? Well, we have various products and coverages available, which I'll go over here in the next couple slides. First and foremost, we offer standalone E&O coverage that's always available for all of these various professions. But for many of the professions, we can offer a package, which will include general liability. And in the next couple slides, I'm going to provide you with some of those various coverage options that are available for most professionals. These would include hired non-owned auto, waiver of subrogation, primary and non-contributory, blanket additional insured. And though we don't offer it as part of the package, we can provide separate umbrella and excess quotes for most professionals. Continuing, we can provide equipment breakdown coverage. We have a value plus endorsement that provides coverage for valuable papers, accounts receivable, and more. We have business personal property coverage available up to $500,000. Business income and extra expense. So a lot of different options, I didn't even cover all of them, that we have available with our various packages. Again, we can provide a package for most classes. We have a note there that we packaged 45% of our E&O policies with general liability and or property in 2024. This continues to grow every year. Many of you have probably seen this, where your clients are coming to you with a contract that requires them to have 7 different coverages. And in many cases, our package policies can meet the needs of many of those requests. With the GL for select types of risk, we can even throw in cyber, and as I said, is intellectual property as well. So why should you package these coverages for your client? Well, it's one policy and we have separate limits. You're going to receive a separate limit for the E&O, the GL, and the business personal property. Other coverages may be sublimited. It's one-stop shopping, very simple, one invoice for all of these coverages. High renewal retention. Why would they need to go anywhere else? All their coverage needs are met by the policies and coverages that you have provided. And one carrier, which will hopefully help to eliminate and provide fewer coverage gaps. Now that brings us to the end of my portion of the presentation. But in conclusion, I just want to ask that should you come across any of these professionals that need E&O coverage, please think of us. I touched upon such a small number of classes that we will consider. There are hundreds of different classes that we will contemplate, from accountants to wedding planners and everything in between. We have many different coverage options, many different product options that are available to you. Any questions? Okay, well, if there aren't any questions, I'm going to pass it over to Ryan, who's going to provide further details as to our process and show you how simple and easy it is to get a quote for these professionals and these products. Take it away, Ryan.
Awesome. Thank you, Suzanne. There's a lot of great information there. And so now we can move into how you can quote some of these risks very quickly and easily with USLI and NEE. So what is instant phone quote? This is a service that you as agents have available to you. It'll be the quickest way for you to get a quote with USLI. We have this dedicated phone number that you'll see on the screen here, 888-875-4439. Whenever you dial this number, you'll be directly connected to one of our over 90 underwriters who are ready and available to assist you. They'll go through, on average, about 8 to 10 questions. The typical call is about 5 to 10 minutes, give or take, in order to generate that premium, and they will send you the quote with a pre-filled application right at the end of that phone call. So it's super quick, it's super easy, and I also want to emphasize, if for whatever reason you do call in and say USLI just isn't going to be a fit for that risk, we will always refer you back over to New England Excess. As Evan mentioned earlier, we're one of their carrier outlets, but they have numerous other outlets. So if we're not going to be a home for that risk, we're going to get you to them so they can take a look at their other markets for you. All right, next slide there, Suzanne. All right, so some of the big benefits to you as agents quoting with us. The big one here is that it's going to save a ton of time. We don't need, there's no application needed, no cord forms needed as well. I definitely like to emphasize that. So it'll definitely save you a lot of time. Like I said, it's very quick and easy. This provides us a lot of flexibility too. I've spoken with agents who they call while they're stuck in traffic, driving home, or they're in between appointments with their prospects. You can call from the road. I definitely encourage you to also save the number has a contact on your cell phone too. And you also always can trust that you'll be receiving a level of expertise whenever you call us. Our underwriters are extremely knowledgeable. They know our products and our coverages inside and out. They're there to help you, and you can definitely feel free to leverage their expertise as well. And they're available. They don't just have the standard 9 to 5 business hours. The team is going to be available from 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, as well as 9 a.m. through 1 p.m. on Saturdays, too. So we know not everyone wants to be out quoting on the weekends, but if you meet someone at the kids' soccer game and they happen to be a consultant or a real estate agent or something like that, give us a call. We might be able to help you right then and there. Next slide there. All right. And so this postcard here, I'm sure many of you have seen this before, but this is our postcard here for our Instant Quote platform. So again, you see that number, it's highlighted at the top in yellow. Definitely encourage you all to save that number. But this list will have as all of our products that we can quote using this platform. So we have a lot of great options between commercial lines, professional, nonprofit, personal lines, and special events as well. All of these, anything you see on this card, you can feel free to give us a number on that number, or call on that number there. All right, and at this point, what I'm going to do, we're actually going to show you what the process looks like in real time. So I'm going to get us connected, and we're going to go through a quick quote today to show you a real live example of this. It will put me on mute for a second, but we'll be right back.
I like to never leave blank air, so I always cut it when he leaves to say, one, no accords. Love that. In our world, sometimes we need them, obviously, but if we can do without, we love that. And although I don't work on Saturday, I'm glad someone is working because insurance doesn't stop Monday through Friday. It's all the time, every day. And just wanted to say, Suzanne, that presentation was amazing because I love that. Like, you got right into the meat of it. Consultants are everywhere, and they're even coming up with more and more different categories every day because of the world kind of around us. Anybody who needs a GL probably needs a professional policy at this point.
Agreed.
Give a little brief overview of what happens maybe when a line of coverage doesn't fit with the USLI and kind of what your team does to
All right. Can you hear me all
Ryan's
right?
ready to go.
Yep, I hear you.
All right, we have Lisa on the line. We're going to go through a quote today we'll do a notary today.
All right, sounds good. So do you have the state and the address, please?
Yep, for the state, we'll do Connecticut. The zip code, we can do 06119.
Perfect. And are you looking for just monoline professional liability, or are you wanting to package it with general liability and business personal property as well?
I think for this one, we'll just do the professional.
Okay, so monoline E&O. All right. And besides notarizing, are there any other services that the applicant provides?
No, not for this one.
No? Okay, sounds good. And I'll need the gross revenues based on a 12-month estimate.
Yep, we'll do 45,000 today.
45,000. Okay, and just one person on staff, no other employees or independent contractors?
Yep, correct. Just an owner-operator.
Okay, sounds good. All right. And then what is the name of the business, or if it's under an individual name, the individual's name, please?
Yeah, we'll just do test notary today.
Okay, sounds good. And you said 06119
Yep.
as a zip code. And that's in Hartford or West Hartford, please?
West Hartford.
Okay, sounds good. And you said no independent contractors and no claims or circumstances that could lead to a claim, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so we usually default to the $1 million limit, but we can offer you higher or lower, whichever one you want. Is $1 million okay for today?
Yeah, for today that works.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so we're gonna send an application, a pre-filled application with the terms. It is on admitted paper, and this will be $1 million at $670 in premium, and this does include first and third party cyber coverage. And there are a few subjectivities, including not being a lawyer, not being a title agent and such, which will be listed on your terms. Let's policy. And then we do have some optional coverages we can offer as well that will be listed at the end of your quote. Do you have any questions before I send this over to you?
I don't think so. That sounds good to me.
Okay, sounds good. I'll send this right over. It'll have a partially pre-filled app for you, and then we can go from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, thank you all.
Bye now. All right, everyone. So that's what the process will look like every time. It's super quick and easy. We would already have a copy of that quote in our inbox ready to go. So the process really is that simple. Again, I encourage you all to save that number in your cell phone, keep that number handy, and anytime something on this list pops up, just give us a ring. You want to move to the next slide there? All right, so just to recap what we can expect at the end of that call, like I mentioned, the quote with that pre-filled application will already be in our inbox. Diana and her team, they're going to already have a copy of that quote on hand as well. So if you are going to be moving forward in binding coverage, I just want to point out that you will send that bind order over to them. But that pretty much is how simple it is. We really want to emphasize that to everyone there. If we want to move along to the next, all right, perfect. So just to recap what we covered, all you need to do is call our instant quote team. Again, that number is 888-875-4439. I will say it again, no accord forms needed. That's probably my favorite thing to emphasize. I used to work on the retail side. I know that they can be a lot. So we don't need any accord forms. And again, the team is accessible with those extended underwriting hours. So if you're working early or working late in the day, you can know that the team is still there to assist you, even if it isn't 9 to 5 working hours. And we do also want to point out that you do have the ability as well to quote with us through New England Excess Exchange on their website through their Maple platform as well. And when you are quoting here, you do have access to the same team of underwriters using our web chat feature. So if you had any questions or you wanted just an underwriter to look at something while you were quoting online, we do have a built-in web chat feature. They're there to help you turn that submission into a quote and answer any questions you have. And I also just want to emphasize it's not AI. I think everyone thinks it's a chat GBT or something. It is not a robot. I promise you it is a real person answering those web chats. All right, if you want to go to the next slide. And this is just a screenshot here of New England's website. You can go to the Get a Quote tab there to access their Maple platform. All right, and that pretty much concludes our presentation today. I want to thank you all for spending some time to be with us this afternoon. Hope you got a lot of great information and you all feel very confident now going out and quoting some of these professional lines risks.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you so much, Suzanne. I want to take the opportunity to actually end right on time here, but Diana, do you have any last remarks just about your team and anything you wanted to add, or just available?
I will
for
try to
questions?
keep it in like a 30-second blip. Although USLI is really great about quoting most everything for when they can't, obviously it does come back. You come back to my team, but we do review every quote, even if USLI does, just to make sure that we're offering the best options that we have out there for you. So if you ever got a quote from them and then you heard from me in the back end, we want to make sure we're giving you all the options available. But most often, as you probably all have seen, their package, we don't compete well with that on the outside. If they can offer it, they do it and do it pretty well. But aside from that, we're here. So if you reach them and they can't help you, get me. If you get me, I'm probably going to them too, but not on Saturdays. But I'm glad that they are there on Saturdays.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone, for
everyone.
your time.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care.